Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for taking the time today. How are you? Just did Hot Ones.
Yes.
How is your emotional well-being
It's good.
after having been not abused, sorry, but but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel fine because I cheated.
Oh.
You know, I did.
We won't show this to Bill. It's fine.
And then I wiped it off, and then I ate it. But it
Yeah.
would have been hot if I hadn't done that.
It would have been hot if
Yeah.
Was it hot at all?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, because even that was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So yes, I had questions about your life and career and how you got to the point in your career that you are right now, and I wanted to go take several steps back before we talk about your career and ask, where were you born?
Sure. I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
East Coast. Yeah.
Really? Where are you from?
Right outside Philly in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right.
But my brother now lives in New Jersey, and I actually have a cousin who moved to New Jersey recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I grew up in Sayreville, New Jersey, which is where Bon Jovi's from.
I think I did know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's living on a prayer in retirement right now.
Yeah.
He's big chillin'. He's living the good life.
Yeah, I got
Wow.
to meet him as president of the choir at my high school. He came and visited, which was cool.
That's why you do these types of things, because you never know what stories people. So you met Bon Jovi.
I did, yeah.
Okay, can we talk about that?
Well, he doesn't remember me.
Well,
there
that-
wasn't much to it.
He doesn't remember you that you know of.
That's true. Maybe I
But-
made an impression.
If you, John
Yeah.
Bon Jovi.
That's right.
I'm happy I didn't say Gary Bon Jovi. If you ever see this,
Yeah, John Bon Jovi went to Sayreville War Memorial High School, where I also went. And
Wow.
So, and he was a band geek, and he was on the smaller side, and he sort of, the story goes, got bullied and was told he wasn't going to make it, but there was that one teacher that believed in him that was still at our school, and then
Yep.
obviously the rest is history. So he came back and visited, and there was like a news spot on him, and since I was president of the choir, I got to meet him and escort him on stage for his presentation, which was awesome.
he might remember that.
Yeah, maybe.
He might. I don't think he's one of those celebrities who
He was nice.
is snobby.
Yeah.
He seems like one of the good ones. That's so cool. Okay, so you're born in New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and then graduate high school in New Jersey,
Yes,
and
went to public school, Sayreville High School, was in the theater department and played varsity soccer and track.
so was it in high school or was it earlier that got you interested in acting?
Earlier, my mom signed me up for dance when I was like 4. So
So you're a dancer.
I was when I
Are
was a
you-
kid. I did competition dance, tap, jazz, ballet, and hip hop for a while, and then I went into community theater because New Jersey had a ton of community theaters. Just like within a 15-minute radius, there were 4 different community theaters. So I was
Wow.
constantly in all of the plays, and then I was lucky enough to get an agent as a child.
Really?
Yeah, because she saw one of my community theater plays. I was playing Baby June in Gypsy.
Guys, we have the video. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I do have the video.
You do have the video.
I could send it to you if I find it.
I mean, I was just, wow.
Yeah, so
What started out as a joke might turn into us being able to see it. Yeah, wow, okay.
yeah, so and then I got a couple callbacks. One was a cool one. It was for. Do you remember the movies Spy Kids?
Yes, I saw that in theaters with my mom.
Oh, cool.
I saw the first Spy Kids in theaters with my mom, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I got a callback for one of those characters, and that was cool. But my parents had started their own business. They were really busy. They didn't want to take me out of school, so we sort of stopped going into the city. We were only 35 minutes from New York City.
Oh, that would have been so
I
much better than
know.
school.
I know.
I can see you playing the female lead in Spy
Oh,
Kids.
thank you. That would have been cool. Yeah, so we sort of
I'm not angry. I'm
stopped
not angry.
doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was just, did my thing, played sports, and kept doing theater in high school. And then, yeah.
It's. Would you say it's a good thing that you had like a quote unquote normal childhood as opposed to
I
being?
would have liked to have been a child star.
I know, right?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I suppose like, I guess we'll never know, but Macaulay Culkin turned out all right. I would say
Yeah.
he's married to the one for what's her name?
I don't remember.
We'll cut that part
Yeah.
out. Sorry about that. She was on Disney. I don't. Anyway, But they have a baby and they're very happy together. I
Yeah.
think so. So you graduate high school in New Jersey, and then where did you get your undergraduate?
I went to Rider University, also in New Jersey. It's in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, near Princeton. At the time, it was a newer musical theater program, so it was part of Westminster Choir College's program, which I don't know if they exist anymore. But it was an amazing music program. So my bachelor's is a BM instead of a BFA in musical theater because we did a lot of.
What's a BM?
Bachelor of Music.
Oh, you had a
Instead
Bachelor of Music,
Finance.
yeah.
There was a lot of singing and music theory and piano, and then dance and acting. Everything. I think Rider's a really great program. Not that it wasn't then; it was just new. But I think now it's pretty competitive.
Do you think that since you focused so much on music and even dance as well, that gave you rhythm and that gave you the ability to be a better actress?
Yeah, I think the weird thing about it all, because I consider myself still an actor over those things, is I never had the best technique. I never was the best dancer. And I was always recognized at an early age for my ability to storytell while I moved and to act my way through songs. I was never the best singer. So I had... going to this really intense music school where everyone had beautiful, beautiful voices. They were like, I think you're our strongest actor. Like, have you thought about just straight acting? Because I think that's more your thing. And that's what I really enjoyed. But this industry is so competitive that if you can do all of it, it's worth doing.
It's competitive. I also think that if you know what you want to do, like for me, I have a pretty good idea of what I want in life as far as a career is concerned, and that is basically just acting, voice acting in film, and I like stage as well. But but it is competitive. Yeah, that's absolutely. So then you get your undergraduate, and then you went to London to study?
No, that was like 10 years later.
Oh.
So I went to, well, not quite that long, but I moved right to New York City with my best friends from college.
Oh, to New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
we lived in Hell's Kitchen in a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 of us. So we just put up like curtains to separate the room.
Sure.
Because that's how expensive it is to live there. And we auditioned and started our own theater company called Tunnel Theater. And we had some cool actors in our plays, like Tony Award-winning Alice Ripley was in one of our plays, or 2. And then Michael Hawaii, who was Hamilton in Hamilton, was in our show. So it was like a cool experience.
It's a very cool experience, I would say.
And then booked some off-Broadway gigs, a Scottish play, small tour through Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where?
We rehearsed, I think, near Bethlehem, but we definitely saw Lancaster. We went,
You saw Amishville?
Oh, yeah.
She saw Amishville. That's amazing.
And then was Shady Maple anywhere near that?
Yeah.
I like Shady Maple.
I love Shady Maple.
Yeah.
Our claim to fame, or one of our claim to fames, is Jonathan Groff went to my high school, and my older brother knows him. And
oh, cool.
Not knows him well, but they were like, I think Jonathan Groff was 1 grade above my oldest brother, but that's like one of our very few claim to fames. That and Amish people are cool too. So, so then when did you? What's the story of you? How did you get to London?
Well, I sort of pulled an Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. That's really why I moved initially. I was working on a cruise ship as a singer in the Mediterranean, so that was like an awesome gig because we got to see Italy and France and Spain and Turkey, so it was like an awesome little gig. And I met this English cellist who I fell madly in love with, and so we were in sort of a long distance on and off relationship for a couple years, and then we got engaged. And right before we got married, he sort of called me and was like, "So sorry, darling, I met someone else." And I was like, "Oh, wow."
If you're watching, what the hell? Because I'm British, it's okay. Sorry. Well,
at least he married that woman that he met, and they have 2 maybe 3 beautiful kids together.
Oh.
They seem happy, so.
Okay, I'm
you know,
sorry I
you
insulted
know.
you, whoever you are.
Yeah.
All right.
But I thought at the time that if I showed up there, that he would be like, oh, I forgot. Like, it was just the distance. You are the love of my life. So angstily, I auditioned for all of these.
That'd be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good movie plot.
Mhm. I auditioned for all these British grad schools, and I got into a couple of them. Unfortunately, I also auditioned for MFA programs in the States, and I got into those too, and they were free, and the British ones were not. So I made the very emotional decision to take out a $77,000 loan to go to Lambda in London, so that the love of my life at the time would remember that he loved me. And as soon as I got there, we met up for coffee, and he like within an hour was like, yeah, so my girlfriend and I are, and I was like, oh my god.
I was gonna say something else, but that So then so now, what was it like? Not to say like which place is better to live, but like if you can compare and contrast living in the United States as opposed to living in London.
I love London so much.
Really?
Yes, I think it's my favorite city. And
Wow.
And I am from the New York area,
Right.
so I just think, and I think New York's great, but it's just so overwhelming and loud and crowded and dirty, and it's got a lot of great things in it, but it's so commercial still. And I know there's still like off. I mean, we were one of the off Broadway theater companies there, and I know there's a lot happening, but it's just so. I feel like we're all little cockroaches with bright lights. Like that, New York is so overwhelming to me. And then you go to London, and there's just greenery everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's still a city, but it's beautiful, and the architecture's awesome, and the type of theater that they do is less commercial. I feel like it almost mirrors more of like the Chicago scene, where they do art that's interesting. They also do the Disney stuff, but it's just like it just seems like they're willing to take chances on grittier work, and they care less about what you look like. Like it's not like supermodels get the job because they're hot. Like they actually care about your talent and your looks or whatever they are.
And maybe the type of person you are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just like a respect for artistry in the UK that I don't think there is as much in the States. I think it's like the States is like a fake it till you make it sort of mentality, and the UK is like this is a lifelong process of being an artist, and you don't get paid that much compared to Broadway. You don't get paid as much on the West End compared to Broadway. So you do it because you love it and you respect the craft, and it's just different. It's really different.
Do you have to get paid as much? Because the cost of living in New York City is obviously very high.
London's worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is the downside. That's why I'm not there right now, to be honest, because I was awarded a global talent visa, so I can go work over there and live there, but I can't afford it.
You have to be like, I would imagine very well off. Worse than New York City.
Worse, yeah.
Wow.
Yep, because like the average wage over there would be, let's say, £30,000 is what I found anyway, which would be the equivalent. I don't know. I'm not a math person, but maybe $40,000 here. But rent is still New York prices. So,
oh my gosh.
And yes, you have better, like everyone has healthcare and other benefits, so that is pretty great. But I still think it's not enough.
Yeah, I gotta make ends meet. I mean, if you can, so if you could, I mean, make it, I don't know what, making it is different to everybody, but if you could be able to do what you want to do in London, would you
in a
want
second, literally
Got
in a
it.
second. Yep.
Got it. Yeah. I am part British. I'm like Italian and British and like a hint of Native American. I have not done the ancestry thing, but that's just what I've been told. So I could have been lied to. I have no idea. But we're going to go with I'm part British because that's kind of cool. And yeah, London has always been like a bucket list thing for me. So you get your master's, and then how long did you live in London after you got your master's before you moved back to the States?
Well, I'd been back and forth for months at a time because of that ex for a while. So I'd be there for like 3 months and then come back and then go visit again for a month and then come back. And then my master's was actually only a little over a year because it went through the summer and we didn't really have more than a week or two break for like holidays.
Yeah.
So that was only a year, and then we came back to New York because I had gotten a new agent, and I was engaged to a different British guy.
Okay.
So I had plans to move back there permanently, and then COVID happened.
COVID ruined many, many things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that COVID found me here because the new guy I was dating. That's another story. After that,
Story for a different time, maybe. Yeah.
After that ex fell through, I had a family cabin on the lake here, and he said, you know, it's COVID and nothing's going on. Why don't we just like sit by the lake and refigure out what we're doing with our lives as friends, even.
Yeah.
And then we ended up here.
I think that COVID did allow many people to reset their mental state, emotional state, and their lives in general. So that was one good thing that I think came out of. And it also forced people to be creative. If you lost your job, you're like, well, what do I do now? I have to make something, you know? So, so now how long have you been living in the UP now?
I was here for 2 years, from 2020 to 2022.
Okay.
Like during basically COVID. And then we got pregnant, and I had been working, just doing master classes and a one-off directing gig at NMU, but it wasn't enough, obviously, for having a child. We needed someone to have a full-time job.
Yeah.
So I got a full-time job back in New Jersey, where my family's from. So we moved back to New Jersey. I was the theater teacher at a high school in Newark, and did that for 2 years, and then something opened up here again. We like it here, so
It's
we
beautiful.
moved back, yeah.
Yeah, my family and I love the Upper Peninsula as well. It's, I mean, I'm from Lancaster County, and that's beautiful also. We have lakes and rivers, and the UP has more. I don't know. I wish I could defend where I'm from, but
Yeah,
the UP
I
just
know.
has more bodies of water, and it's gorgeous. So now, how is it? Because, well, you have like 14 jobs here, and you have the box office that we're in right now, and then you directed Frankenstein. I saw that. I saw that the Wednesday before opening night.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm cheap apparently and didn't want to. I don't know, but I forget why I had to see it. I couldn't come opening night, but anyway, I did see it, and I thought it was great. And so you work at the box office, you direct, and then you also teach, obviously. And how can you sort of compare and contrast, like, teaching from performing?
I personally see it like a figure eight. I feel like it. I mean, there's that horrible saying, if you can't do, teach. And I don't feel that way at all. I think when I was in high school, I taught theater to younger kids than me. That was like my survival job. And then when I went to undergrad at Rider, I taught at McCarter Theater in Princeton. So I was always teaching as I was learning, and I found it a great tool to figure out whether or not I had really understood a concept when I was learning.
Yeah.
And then when you're teaching someone how to do or coaching someone through a monologue, it's so easy to see it from a chair.
You're right.
But if you're acting at the same time and you're trying to do it, I just feel like it informs everything. Like you're able to critique yourself before you even go up for your own monologue, and then also gives you the perspective of, I'm giving this note and this person's not taking this note, but I'm trying to take my own note, and it's a lot harder than I thought it was. Like it's gotten me in my head. So I just think it's so good to do both things. I think it's a really great thing to be teaching the thing you're still actively pursuing, because I just think you just keep learning and learning as you're going. You never get stagnant. I was directing and choreographing in New York for like 8 years while I was in between gigs and stuff. So
wow,
I
didn't know that. That's cool. And then when you so like you have like a lot of teaching experience.
Yeah.
I just thought you were like really good, but I was like, I did not know that you taught prior to coming here. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, and that's really cool. And do you think? I mean, the talent that you see at Northern, and then are we better than New York people? Is what I'm trying to say. I'm just kidding.
I think Northern. I think that the talent here is incredible, and I actually mean that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would have said that across the board maybe 5 years ago or whenever. I think it was still good, but I just the growth that we've seen, like, or that just from being away and coming back, I had expected to teach at a certain level, and then I got here and I was like, oh, I got to throw that lesson plan out because this is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. Like, our advanced acting class is amazing.
That is a very amazing class. It's we'll cut this out. It's my favorite class here. Yeah, I fucking said it. I was like, I mean, no, we are gonna post that. But yeah, it's like it's my favorite class because, well, first of all, we started out with improv, and I love improv so much because I think that I'm pretty quick on my feet, and you don't have to memorize anything. So. Although, now that we're doing scenes and we do have to memorize, I enjoy that too. I enjoy the process of breaking down a monologue, seeing where you have to climb the ladder, and memorize. And I interviewed Paul like 2 days ago, and him and I talked about how we're both like dyslexic, and how dyslexic people tend to be good at memorizing, because we can't read. And so, like, especially hearing things out loud, like I record myself saying sometimes the wrong thing because I say like the wrong word. It's not that I mispronounce words, I just say the wrong word as I'm reading out loud. But I think that once I get it right, I'm really good at memorizing. Yeah. Did you have anything that, I'm not going to say like a learning disability, but did you have anything that held you back that you realized, if I can get past this, I know I can be successful? I
actually talk about this with Alistair a lot. I don't have a disability that's ever been diagnosed. So this is like my thoughts from Google. So this is not a real thing. But I do think I have ADHD. Like, for sure. So my best work is usually the first thing I do. And the more I, like, perseverate, is that the word? Like, on the task or try to make it better, I make it worse. So, like, in standardized tests in high school, it's like, check, check, check. Whatever I could get done in the shortest amount of time, because I lost my attention span after that, I always nailed. And if I went back after my attention was already gone and fixed my answers, they would all be wrong, and I would have been right the first time. Like, I'm really great at writing essays, and then, like, in 10 minutes, and then, but if you give me a week, it won't be very good. And that's an interesting acting issue, because I think that I, for free, am very present in it and make bold choices from the jump. But then, as we are in rehearsal and we have a director that's micromanaging every movement, I just sort of like dissolve into, like, I can't get the fire back.
Yeah.
So that's my personal, like, artistic challenge.
That's
is the endurance part of it, I think.
That's the struggle. Yeah. When I lived in Texas, I was diagnosed because I knew that something was off in my brain and I didn't know what. So I started going to behavioral health, and I was diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and all this stuff. But I had ADHD, or either a mild form or probably not so mild form of it. But yeah, I mean, what would you say to people? Because I mean, actors, you people can't focus. I understand. I'm one of you. It's a problem. So, like, what advice would you give to people like myself who struggle to focus, and not just with, like, career, but in life in general?
I feel like it's harder to focus when you feel like there's a problem that you already know the answer to, and it's easier if you try to force yourself to live in a way where you're always discovering something new. So, like, if you're in a classroom and you're like, wow, I really can't focus, like, even just being like, I'm just going to notice something in the room I didn't notice before. Oh, there's a light. And then you, like, there's a light there, and I didn't notice there was a light there. And then you become present again in the space, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. I started going to, like, this group counseling thing during COVID. It was on Zoom because if you leave the house, you're going to die if you leave the house in those days. What happened there? We can leave the house now. That's weird. But yeah, they were like, this comedian talks about how, like, what we did to old people, the elderly, we're like, just stay in the basement. Just how long do I have to stay there till it's safe? We'll come get you. And we're like, what are we doing? But I mean, I don't know if we're gonna leave that in or not. But I don't know what I was saying. That's the ADHD that's coming in right now. What was I just saying? Just like, this is why you edit.
Oh, we were talking about noticing, just on purpose noticing things in the room to bring you back into the space.
Yeah, I'm in this. I'm present again. I'm in this like Zoom counseling meeting, and he's just another like soldier, doctor guy at Fort Bliss, and he was like basically he said to keep you present. He used an example. He held up a pen. He just said, just describe this pen. Not sell me this pen, but just describe this pen. We're like, oh, I don't know, it's black, it has like white writing on it, and like blah blah blah. But that strangely gets you present instead of having a wandering mind.
Yeah.
And so no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, you're always discovering new things, whether it's in the space around you or your character. Yeah, that's probably like one of the main reasons I love to act so much, is because you're never really done.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Was it Paul Truckee who said like a work of art is never complete, it's just abandoned? Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I think he told me that in a class when I first started coming here. Yeah, so your 17 positions here at Northern, how do you sort of navigate being a professor, being in charge of the box office? I mean, you also direct. Are you directing again soon?
Mm-hmm.
What's your next?
2 weeks. 6 Men Dressed Like Joseph Stalin, which you're auditioning for.
That's right. I am auditioning for that. I'm auditioning apparently for that.
Yeah.
No, I did want to. I filled out the form when they first sent out the email. I think back in December, and then I forgot about it.
Oh no! Are you still auditioning?
I believe.
Okay. February 24th.
No, there's pressure now. It's going to happen. I'm a pressure player. February 24th. Now I'm like thinking about what I'm going to bring to the audition. ADHD is a real thing, guys. So you're directing that, and then. Well, I don't know why I thought Jimmy was directing that. Why did I think that?
I don't know. I am.
Okay, cool.
Jimmy's directing Much Ado right now.
Well, he is, but his name was mentioned when we were talking about 6 Men Dressed as Joseph Stalin.
He's the fight choreographer.
Yes, thank you. And that's cool. So how are you navigating? I mean, because you wear a lot of hats here.
Yeah.
And so, like, how has that experience been?
It's been hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been hard. I think the hardest part about it is the box office.
In what way is it the hardest part?
Because I'm a one-man show for the box office, and as a new employee, like, just being like, now you run this thing, but I wasn't underneath. Like, it would have been cool if I was Emily's employee for a year, and then I just was like, oh, I get the ropes. But we had like 2 weeks of training where she was like, here's how you run 14 productions and all of the logistics of the theater and dance department. Going to Chicago, which is not her fault. That's just both of our schedules lined up that way.
It just happened to be, yeah.
So the first 6 months here, I wished that I had more time on my syllabus and like my prep for Frankenstein, but I didn't, because all through the day I was like searching through thousands of files on the drive trying to get information I knew I needed to do this job, because there was no one that could tell me really how to do it.
You were just thrown into the fire,
So that was tough. I think I finally get it, so it should take me a lot less time to get the things done I need to get done, and then I can focus on the stuff I really like, which is teaching the classes.
Your favorite part's teaching.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks. Yeah. No, and like I've been having a blast in your class, especially with improv, but like also the scenes and the challenge of finding the character's motivation and the beats of the scene and how rhythmically it comes together. And so thank you for teaching. I know it's not easy with everything else you have going on. I think she needs more to do. What else can we give? No, I'm just kidding.
I have more to do next year.
Okay. Yeah. But now, so something exciting you also mentioned last class was the improv that will be happening at Iron Bay. Yeah, that's right. Should we talk about that?
Sure.
Because I think that's exciting for other people who like improv and maybe want to do that this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trained at UCB in New York City, where we learned this sort of long-form improv format called the Herald, which I really love. And so I was approached by a manager of a bar/restaurant that I used to work at in town that I really love, Iron Bay, and to put a group together that may want to do an improv night.
That's amazing.
That could become like a regular event at this restaurant.
Like a weekly or monthly sort of deal? Yeah.
She wants weekly, but I just don't know if we're using students what kind of time they'll have because of rehearsals. So.
Well, I've been looking for a place to do an open mic stand-up comedy, so maybe if you can talk. Yeah, because I know, like when I first moved up here, I did stand-up at Cognition, and then this other place, I think it's called Brogies, but they're no longer. It's a bar in Ishpeming that is now closed. But yeah, I've been looking for a place to do stand-up, but I mean, a lot of my stand-up is improvised because, frankly, I don't prepare well. So, I love improv, and yeah, I think that would be amazing. And I know that other talent here at Northern would probably be interested in that too. So yeah,
I could connect you guys. Maybe you could do an open mic thing too. I know they're trying to like fill out their schedule so that there's like every day there's something happening.
Yeah. But even if that doesn't happen, Fuller Laughs Comedy Club will be opening. I'm just kidding. It's not.
That's a great name.
That's
a really great name. Well, it has to work.
I took a Bill Dignite class, and we had to create our own business, and I wanted to open a comedy club. So Fuller Laughs.
You should totally do that.
Yeah, well, you need money, and then you also need the place. There are some, like, sometimes I'll drive by like a building, and I'm like, what's that used for? But I'm like, no, you actually need like a plan. But no, I would love to own my own comedy club one day.
What if
and for you to perform there.
That'd be great. What about the Vera? Like, you could just rent out that space.
Yeah, well, renting is something that, like, and maybe we should talk about that because people, like, performers do that quite a bit. I mean, like, obviously, like, the really successful comedians rent out, like, Madison Square Garden for, like, $400 million or whatever that is to rent it out. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, 300,000 or something, but yeah, that's a very popular thing for people to do is renting out a space to like put something together. So
yeah,
I totally agree. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, what I think would be even more awesome is the Iron Bay improv idea. What would that be called?
I don't know.
Should we brainstorm names?
Yeah.
Okay. Iron Bay Improv Group. I don't know. Maybe. We're put on the spot right now, and this is like live. We'll get back to the...
I just keep thinking, and this is not a good name, but the Bay Bees.
Why is that? Oh! Why is that a bad name?
Like B-A-Y.
No, yeah.
It's so stupid.
No. I think we got it. I think we found it. If that ever becomes like an LLC or trademark thing, then the babies. I'm sold.
Or it could be B-A-Y-B-E-E-S, and we all wear B.
Oh, yeah. You just said that to a dyslexic person, so I had to really focus in, and now I'm with you.
That's really stupid.
No. The babies. You guys get it? No, I think that would be awesome. Because it's like silly and like kind of fun, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, who says it has to be like sophisticated? Yeah, we're not like, what's his name in London? Sorry, anyway. I'm sorry. This is why we cut shit out.
No, you can keep it.
Oh, good. What's his name?
I can't say.
I know.
He is nice. He's nice. I just didn't win.
Yeah. You know who you are. But, yeah. Sorry. But, yeah, well, I think that we talked about a lot of awesome things, and I really appreciate your time. Probably the last thing you needed was me bugging you to do an interview.
No, it was great. It was fun.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you again, and yeah, watch out for Bay Bees
coming Marquette
this summer at Iron Bay. Iron Bay Brewery, is it? No, it's not a...
Iron Bay Restaurant? I don't know.
Iron Bay Restaurant and Bar.
Yeah, I think that is it, actually.
We're not selling this well just yet, but we're gonna... Yeah, the babies. That's amazing. All right, I'm excited. So yeah, thank you again for this interview, and yeah, we'll see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
All right.